All right, let's illustrate one pass away along with two passes away, where your focus is at a center point, and you can see man and ball, and you're denying the offensive player the basketball. So your hands are going to be in the passing lane. Your eyes are going to be right over your hands because you can still see the ball and the offensive player, and you're in a denial situation. The denial means you're not going to let her get the basketball or let your offensive player get the basketball. My defensive stance is still in a balanced area, so I'm not out of my defensive stance, but I'm still in my stance, and I can react to the movement of the basketball. My hands are still going to be in a position to play defense. Now, if he passes the ball over to my other friend here, which now becomes two passes away, my eye level changes to where I can see the ball and my man. If I have to point, I can point. So I'm still in a defensive stance, my head's straight ahead, I'm using my peripheral vision. Now, if he decides to take a dribble to the basket, I see that, I react, I step, slide. Now, as a defensive team, when I move or when you see the offensive man go to the basketball, if everybody is in the same stance where you can see the ball movement and see your man, we're going to react to that. We're going to react to the ball, but yet we're still going to see our man at the same time. That's how you team, from a team defensive stance, we call it being on a string. A good practice tool. You have seen me in certain situations, even in games, when I step to the free throw line and I'm just joking around, I may shoot a free throw with my eyes closed. Well, the purpose that I shoot with my eyes closed is that I want to believe in the fundamentals that I've been taught or I've been practicing. So the best way to do that is to do it with your eyes closed. Nothing changes. When you step to the free throw line and you go through your ritual and you set your target, and now that you close your eyes, you think the dimensions change? No. You're still 15 feet from the basket. The rim's still 10 feet high. So everything should be kept on the same plane. And if you have total comfort in your free throw stroke or your fundamentals, you should be able to make that shot. Not just going to shoot with the same percentage, but when you release it, you know it's in the same target, at the same target, with the same type of shot. So, good practice tool is to start, go through your ritual, see everything, make the first one with your eyes open. So now it isn't, you have everything in rhythm. Then go through the same ritual, look at your target, and right before you shoot it, close your eyes. It shouldn't change. But that's a good practice tool. Now, a lot of guys who don't have comfort in their free throw shot, when they close their eyes, either shoot it short, shoot it right, shoot it left. And that's a good way to test your fundamentals under pressure. Because if you can shoot them with your eyes closed, quite naturally you can shoot them when there's 64,000 people paying attention to your shot. Another tool for getting the correct backspin, as I talked earlier about, once the ball hits the rim and starts to bounce around a little bit, may give you a better chance of making a shot, is when you're laying at home at night and you're really bored, take your basketball, which you're probably sleeping with if you're a basketball player, and shoot straight up. Lay your head on the pillow, shoot it straight up, and try to have the basketball come back on your nose. Now, if you can do that and do it with some consistency, then you get the correct form of a shot. Not just a free throw shot, but a shot in general. And the best way to do that is take it and finish it. What I used to do is I try to shoot it straight up and catch it right on my nose. As you can see, the finish and everything, the backspin is perfect. You're shooting it off of these three fingers. Now, if you're using these two fingers, the ball's going to start to go left or right, and it's not going to end up on your nose. It's probably going to end up on your ear or miss your head to the left. And these are the thoughts that you should work on, just trying to enhance your correct follow-through and your correct form as a shooter. They work for me. They may not work for you, but at least give it a try. Next thing you know, you'll be a better free throw shooter. My shooting improved mainly because defenders started to play me differently. Once I created an aggressive driving motion to the basketball, the defenders started to play off of me, which I was forced to take that shot and be effective with that shot. So I started working on it more and more because that's exactly what the defense was giving me. So as an offensive player, sometimes you have to revert back to just taking what the defense is going to give you. You don't always have to force the issue. The defense is going to give you some weak points or some points that you have to attack. And when those points show up, you should attack. And you should attack with confidence that you can, force them to do other things. If the defense is going to give me an offensive shot or jump shot, I should take that shot and force the defense to come out and play him a little bit closer, which opens up other options from an offensive standpoint. Triple threat. It's basically what it is. You have three options when you're in that stance. You can either shoot the basketball, you can pass the basketball, or you can drive the basketball. And using those three options, I think you should always articulate what the defense is doing to you. And three moves that I try to utilize, and you've seen me use in the years that I played, and I think are very valuable to me, is to attack the defense based on his stance. If I'm attacking, I'm going to use a jab step. And a jab step is a quick step to get the defense to react. And if the defense does not react, then you have a lot of other options that you can go about that. So jab step with your right foot, defense does not react, you go past him, putting the ball here so that the defense cannot get to it. Now the second move of that triple threat situation is called a crossover. And the crossover is strictly just a change of direction. And let me show you exactly the way it should be done. In protecting the basketball, you're jabbing with your right foot, and the defense sometimes react that way, and you want to change your direction. This is what most of the people do that's going to get called for traveling. In jabbing with this right foot, they get so quick, they go this way by moving their left foot, which is your pivot foot. That is traveling in any league. So the correct way to do it is when you jab, now you're going to pick up the same foot that you jabbed with and change directions. And in putting the ball down, good defensive players, if you put the ball out here, have long enough arms. Scottie Pippen, for one, can slap it. Your momentum is going this way and the ball is going that way. Good way to correct that is when you jab, now you change. If you put the ball here, you got protection from your right leg. Your hand should be here protecting the basketball anyway. So now the only way the defense can get to that ball is to go through your arms, go through your legs. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a foul. I say 9 times out of 10 because I can get away with it. But I don't play anymore, so you don't have to worry about that. So, jab step, change the direction this way, putting the ball inside your legs. Now, the good thing about an offensive player is you got to be able to go both ways. If you go one way, now you're limiting your options. The defense is going to read that, and then they become more, I guess, have the advantage to try to limit your options. As an offensive player, you never want to limit your options. So when you're working on that move to do it this way, also do it that way. So now you can have two options. If my man is taking a defensive stance, the thing that I'm looking at right now is he's playing parallel. So now he's playing me to go either way, which is good. Which also, to me, means all I have to do is give him a nice little fake this way. He's going to think and feel that that's the way I'm going. My change of direction is a little bit better to use when you see a guy with the parallel stance. Mainly because he doesn't know where you're going. So now you have so many options, you just try to use as many options as you can. Now if he had his right foot forward, that to me is saying, now he wants you to go this way. The last thing I want to do is go where the defense wants me to go. I want to go opposite. So this is when now he takes his step that way. To change the direction means he's got to pick up this foot and open, then slide to keep up to you as an offensive player. That takes more time than you taking that crossover and driving to the hole. So you have the advantage in that sense. Now, if he has his other foot up, this is what I was telling you about being able to go both ways. Now you can do the same thing and attack it this way. You see what I mean? So now he can't limit your options. So you should look, before you take your stance, look how the defense is playing you, and then decide which is your pivot foot, your right foot or your left foot, and then attack. For all the kids who want to be a better basketball player, I think you should improve your weaknesses to where they become strengths, and at the same time, improve your strengths to where you don't have any weaknesses. So work at it well-roundedly and try to become the best basketball player you can be. Once you get to that level, then you're an MVP in your own mind.